What's going on, Kaiju fans? It's 4Green here, and I'm taking some time to talk about these reveals that have come out of Godzilla Day that happened a few days ago. I'm late to the party, obviously. I saw it on the day of, but I haven't made time to comment on my thoughts of these new Bandai Movie Monster Series releases that they revealed. And I also want to backtrack a little bit more to also mention that I haven't commented on the Flying Mechagodzilla Bandai Movie Monster Series prop, I'd like to call it. We could start with that. Now, this one kind of came out of nowhere, and I know a lot of you guys may already have this already, but it's in my radar. I definitely would like to pick it up, but it's not a super priority just because of the fact that it's a lot like Flying Ghidorah. It's a glorified statue for the price of a figure that will have some limited posability. I like it a lot, and I really love that Bandai stuck to the very prop aesthetic, which means it's a lot more simplified than the suit model, as a suit model will show all of its little cracks and crevices in the suit and the zippers and all that stuff. This one has the very straight-laced proportions, little truncated neck and everything like that, just to make him look like he was flying back then. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know how I would display it in a collection. Obviously, hang it from the ceiling. I don't know. It's so ludicrous, but I love it, and I definitely would like to get it at some point. Now, on Godzilla Day, they revealed the one thing I was looking forward to, which was that box set that features, for one, a updated Angurius from the Showa era, or Angurius, sorry, don't kill me. And they also have King Ghidorah 1964, which I'm super excited about. Gabara, which I'm super excited about. Kamacurus, I'm super excited about. Mechagodzilla 74, I should be excited about, but I know there's been a lot of Mechagodzilla content in terms of vinyl figures. And I know that, while Bandai hasn't put out a 74 version in a long time, we did get that Playmates one that I did a review for a while back, which was, it was fine for what it is. It did its job. It stood in for him while we waited for this one to come out. So that looks cool. And am I missing anything? I think that's it, right? We got all of them? Yeah, I think so. So these are all interesting. I'll start with the least interesting to the most interesting, or the most anticipated. So yeah, looking again at this Mechagodzilla 74, he looks fine. I'm really interested in how he's going to look side by side with 75. Are their proportions going to be the same, or are they going to have that kind of slight girth difference that they look like they have in the movies? He seems to be very, very shiny silver. I have the first release of the 75 Mechagodzilla that came out years ago, and he's got that kind of dull silver gray palette to him. But this one looks like he's kind of shiny, and he's got some sprays on him and stuff like that. I mean, he looks fine, but again, it's kind of hard to make a Showa Mechagodzilla exciting without some unique pose like they did with 75. But I'm just happy to have him. Like I said, we have a good King Caesar, we have a good Godzilla, and we have now this guy, so we can complete our set for that movie. Next is Angurius. I'm not sure if this is the 68 version. He has his fangs, so I don't think it's any of the later 70s ones, because they kind of defanged him at some point. But I think that was more closer to the Mechagodzilla 74 movie. But yeah, at first glance, he almost looks like the previous release, but obviously there's a lot more in the details. The scaling on his body is a lot more defined. The back angle, it almost looks like the same figure, but when you look at the rear legs are definitely better proportionate. If you look at the original mold, the upper thigh is like super short and truncated, while the lower leg is like long and extended, and it lays like completely flat in the ground, and in the front, you know, the fingers are all together, like, and it just, everything looks like it's just molded together too clean. And you know, that was the aesthetic for the earlier Bandai vinyl releases. It was more about the impression of the monster rather than trying to capture all the realism of the outfits and the suits that the actors wore, which is what Movie Monster series often does, with, at least with the Showa characters, is that they like to add those little folds and creases and, you know, zippers and flaps to kind of really give you this little sculpted miniature of the physical monster suit. From there, I'm going to go to Kamacurus. Kamacurus was a hard to get Bandai figure originally. And he's also a very strange, like, green and orange brown color in his initial release. And this one seems to be hitting those color schemes much closer to the film of Son of Godzilla. Looks good. I'm excited they were able to pull this off, because now it gives me hope that we'll get a Kumonga to come along next, because, you know, doing an insect body and maybe including some posability, which I'm not sure. I'm assuming the arms are posable, and maybe the mid-waist, but I'm not sure about anything else. I think it's pretty safe to just leave it there and not have any surprises come out of this, because Bandai really doesn't deliver sometimes when it comes to what they articulate. They have a lot of glue seams where you think they might have articulation, but I don't think this is going to be the case. Next up, we have Gabara, which is a long time coming. This is Bandai's first Gabara, if I'm not mistaken. The colors look great. He looks the way he should look. He's just this long, blue, bumpy turd of a monster, and, you know, the face is good. The texturing looks good. His legs obviously don't move, which is disappointing, but it looks like he might have a waist swivel. His arms move. I don't know what about his head. I'd have to take a closer look and see, but yeah, he looks like how he should. The only disappointing thing is that last Minya that came out was a little too big, and I didn't pick it up, which is why I don't have a review for that figure, because it was just kind of a little bit too big for what I wanted in a Minya. Anyway, on to the next. We have King Ghidorah, 1964. Another one that I was waiting a long time for. We finally got this bad boy. He looks derpy at first, and after I did some investigating, I had no idea that they had the same figure already out in his proposed color scheme of the blue, gold, and red sprays, which is how he's originally supposed to look. And so you can look that figure up and get better shots of this figure from different angles, or I have him right here. I'll just post him here for you to see. He looks good. I want to see how he looks next to all the other, you know, Monster Island Denzians that we've been collecting in the Movie Monster series. So that's going to be the real test. Moving on from there, I know that they also revealed that these figures will also be available as single releases in the coming year. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get this box set. It's a little steep right now, even though buying them all individually is probably going to be more expensive. At least I could break it up and do it little by little. But this box set is just a little much at this moment. We're getting a little close to Christmas. I got 2 kids. I gotta make my choices. You know what I mean? Now, they also revealed this Jaguar figure that came out of this new Godzilla short that they premiered on Godzilla Day, and he's got these like I don't know if it's a same figure or 2 figures, but he's got this one where he looks like he has these Gigan hooks on his arm. I still haven't seen the short film yet. I don't know if it's been released on YouTube, but if anyone has a link to it, let me know. I'd love to check it out. That looks pretty decent, and I'm always down for a new Jaguar, but they also have them with the thumbs up, and that's the one I'm kind of like, all right, now we're talking. I like this one a lot. So, you know, while it's not high on my list, I already got a Jaguar, but he still looks pretty cool, and I may double dip on this guy, but I don't know yet. It's too far to tell. Lastly, I want to make my impressions on this. This is pretty funny. This Godzilla from Monster Zero, the one where he's on one of the moons of Jupiter fighting King Ghidorah, and after he defeats him, he does his little Godzilla Shie, is it? It's like a Godzilla dance. He kind of jumps up and lifts one leg and puts one hand above his head and reverses every time he does the jump. And it's a really silly moment, and it was kind of a sign of things to come for the Showa series, but they captured it here in vinyl, and it's actually pretty cool that he has a little stand you could put him on. It looks like he's also posable, but I don't think he's gonna be able to stand on his own, judging by the way his limbs are positioned, but I could be wrong. I'd like to see more pictures, but this is what I have for now. And as far as this, I guess this is going to be part of a new series. I think Shinrabjira mentioned, which is cool because if they're going to be doing captured moments in vinyl, then I definitely want to see Godzilla flying and Ghidorah as a vinyl. I definitely want to see him do his tail slide from Megalon as a figure with a little base so he could at least prop himself up on his tail. You know, there's so many moments you could probably think about that are kind of iconic in each movie. These would, you know, you could do a lot with these, and it maybe not just be for Godzilla, it could be for other monsters as well. Anyway, cool figure. I'm on the fence if I really want to add it to my collection or not, or if I just want to wait for the standard release for the what is that, the 65 suit? We'll see. 64, 65. Anyway, in last order of business, this is probably the most obscure deep cut of the offerings out of this Godzilla Day announcement, that the giant Condor from Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster will be getting a vinyl figure as well. I guess that there was a poll where we had things like, you know, the original Mogera and various other options out there that people could choose from to pick for their choice as the next figure to be made, and the overwhelming response was for giant Condor. I don't think people took this very serious, or maybe they did, but we're getting him, and actually it's pretty cool because now it gives me hope that we'll get the giant sea snake from King Kong Escapes. All joking aside, this is, you know, it's showing a lot that Bandai is now venturing into lesser popular kaiju. You know, there was a long period when they first started rolling out their vinyls that I was looking for things like Gabara, you know, King Caesar, Titanosaurus, and we eventually got those, and now we're at a point where we're getting all the stages of Ghidorah and a flying Mechagodzilla. So why not? You know, there's so many more monsters that have been kind of untouched. We have the Yog trio. We have, you know, I did a video where there was I had these wants where it had Manda and several of the ones I just mentioned in that list. So there's hope, and maybe we'll be getting those in the near future. So anyway, that's it for now. Give me your thoughts down below. Comment on what you think. I think these all are pretty solid releases. I know I didn't talk about the non-Showa figure releases, but there are some cool ones there. But I try to stay, again, laser focused on this era. And, you know, I'll be back with more content. So please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.